In this deep silence of the jungle, every powerful life begins with weakness. Where every breath takes in danger, a mother hides. This is the moment when only a few breaths separate life and death. And then, a slight movement in the darkness. A tiny life enters the world. This is a tiger cub. But it is not a king yet. It is blind for now. Helpless and completely dependent on its mother. A tigress usually gives birth to 2 to 4 cubs. Each cub weighs only 1 to 1.5 kilograms at birth. Through fragile bones, through soft bodies, that even a moment of carelessness can end this life. For the first 2 weeks, their eyes remain closed. They cannot see the world. They cannot recognize danger. They can only feel the presence of their mother. And the mother knows that if she falters even for a moment, these cubs will not see the next morning. That is why she keeps them hidden in caves, thick bushes, and underground, where neither light reaches nor enemies easily, because enemies are everywhere. Hyenas, cheetahs, snakes, and even male tigers, who sometimes kill their own cubs to ensure their offspring survive. This war begins even before birth. The mother silently nurses them. She remains hungry herself, but keeps the cubs alive. She knows this weakness is temporary. One day, these tiny bodies will shake the jungle. These pass 2 weeks complete, and for the first time, the closed doors of their eyes slowly open. Light enters, and a tiger sees the world for the first time. This world is not beautiful. It is deadly. It is not soft. It is merciless. Now it learns to crawl, then to walk with unsteady steps. And with every step, death walks alongside it. But the mother is always in front, serving as a shield. These initial months are the most delicate months of life, because those who lose here never become kings. And those who survive slowly begin to walk on the path, where only 2 paths emerge, either the path of becoming a hunter or the end of becoming the hunted. The second chapter of life begins, and this chapter is spent completely under the shadow of the mother. During the first 6 months, these tiny tigers are entirely dependent on their mother. Now they begin to learn to walk, but with every step, fear is also hidden. The mother teaches them not only how to walk, but also how to hide. Every bush, every leaf, every shadow tells the story of a possible enemy's presence. This lesson determines the difference between life and death. The mother teaches them to recognize danger and tells them when to attack and when to stay silent. Meanwhile, the enemy can be hidden anywhere. Hyenas, cheetahs, snakes, and sometimes even male tigers who play with death for the cubs. Every moment is a test. The tiny tigers watch, listen, and slowly learn the reality of life with fear. These months are the most dangerous for the cubs because most of them die during this period. More than 60% of tiger cubs perish during this time due to hunger, disease, or attacks from enemies. But those who survive gradually grow stronger under the protection and wisdom of their mother. Now they crawl through the jungle with small steps, searching for danger behind every bush, and listening for the enemy's steps in every shadow of light. The mother is with them, protecting them and teaching them that survival in the jungle is not just about strength, but about intelligence and cunning. These early months are a lifetime of lessons for the cubs. This is the time when every breath, every movement, and every glance determines the difference between life and death. And those who survive will soon be ready to learn hunting, because now the time has come. Now begins the most dangerous chapter in the life of the tiny tiger. The time when fear and hunger face each other. At 8 to 12 months of age, the cubs start practicing hunting. But this journey is not easy. At first, they try to catch small animals or control injured prey. Every failure can become a threat for them. Every small wound can open the door to death. This is the stage where more than 60% of tiger cubs lose their lives due to hunger, disease, or attacks from enemies. The first hunt is not just about meat, it is a lesson about how much life is worth in the jungle. The tiny tigers slowly learn to leap, to hide, and to move silently behind their prey. Every hunt teaches a new truth, that strength is not only in the body, it is also hidden in intelligence and patience. These moments are terrifying for the cubs, but this fear teaches them the lesson of becoming a predator. The mother is always nearby, sometimes watching closely, sometimes guiding from afar. The first successful hunt, tasting blood for the first time. This is the moment when the tiny tiger's world changes. Now it is no longer just a cub, but a future predator, ready to hunt. This is the time when it learns that surviving in the jungle requires not just strength, but also cunning, intelligence, and patience. And with every hunt, it slowly steps out from the shadow of its mother and prepares to shape its own destiny. Now, a new chapter opens in the life of the tiny tiger, the time when the cub begins to grow into an adult and become independent. At 2 to 3 years of age, the tiger becomes fully grown. Now it no longer depends on its mother for hunting. Instead, it lives by its own strength and intelligence. Now it hunts alone. Every movement combines caution and power. Every step carries the risk of death. The young tiger establishes its territory. A male's territory can range from 100 to 400 kilometers. And any intrusion by another male means a bloody battle or death. A female tiger's territory is limited to 20 to 70 kilometers, but this is enough to protect herself and her offspring. This is the time when lessons of combat come. Every small fight, every roar, every confrontation makes it stronger and wiser. hunt in the darkness of night, avoid enemies in daylight, and taste victory through its own strength. An adult tiger can travel 20 to 30 kilometers in a single night, and each journey enhances its wisdom, strength, and survival skills. This is the era when every predator in the jungle takes note of its power and intelligence. Because now it is not just a cub, but a young king of the jungle. This is the time when every breath, every hunt, and every decision determines the difference between life and death. And the tiger that survives this stage is ready to become a future apex predator. The young tiger is now capable of hunting using its strength and intelligence. But this life is not easy. A tiger succeeds in only 1 out of 10 hunts. Every failure is an opportunity to test its hunger and wisdom. Its prey includes deer, wild boar, buffalo, and sometimes small animals as well. But every hunt carries the risk of death. Now, it can eat 20 to 40 kilograms of meat at a time. But not every day is easy. Every hunt is a challenge, and every night demands new cunning. Hunting is not just the act of obtaining meat. It is a lesson that survival in the jungle requires patience, intelligence, and strength. This is the time when the young tiger proves itself as a super predator. Every success makes it stronger. Every failure teaches it. And every night, when it sits exhausted after a hunt, the danger is still not completely gone. Because the jungle never rests. This is a life that teaches only one thing, that hunting is not just about strength. It is a game of wisdom and patience. This is the life of a super predator, a combination of danger, hunger, and intelligence, which only makes the victorious memorable. The young tiger is now not just a hunter, but also a king establishing its territory. Every tiger has its own specific territory. A male's territory generally ranges from 100 to 400 kilometers, while a female's territory is limited between 20 and 70 kilometers. This territory is not just land, but a guarantee of power, wisdom, and survival. When another male tiger enters this territory, it signals a bloody battle, or sometimes even the path to death. Every fight, every roar, every wound, all are a way to pay the price of power and survival. The tiger keeps watch over every corner of its land. Every bush, every tree, every water source is important to it. These battles are not just of strength, but also of wisdom, cunning, and timing. Now the young tiger, who was once a cub, fights to establish its place, sometimes pushing the enemy back, sometimes winning the battle with its intelligence. These bloody wars strengthen its character even more and teach it that in the jungle, strength alone is not enough. Intelligence and wisdom are also necessary. This is the time when the young king gives its first lesson in rulership, and the other predators begin to take note of its power. These battles are stories of danger, wisdom, and strength which shape the tiger as the true king of the jungle. The wheel of time stops for no one. The young tiger, who was once the king of the jungle, now stands on the threshold of old age. At 12 to 15 years of age, a tiger's speed slows down, teeth wear down, and hunting becomes difficult. This is the period when strength begins to fade, and every hunt, every confrontation is no longer as easy as before. The old tiger tiger is now more cautious, relying on its wisdom and experience. Because along with the body, strength gradually diminishes. Hunting has become harder, but hunger does not end. These are the moments when many old tigers approach human areas in search of easy prey. Human areas are more dangerous, but to satisfy hunger, they take bold steps. Now it is no longer a young tiger, but an experienced, wise predator who calculates every move and measures every hunt. At this stage of old age, life becomes a test at every moment, every breath, every step. Every hunt is an examination. This time teaches that strength is not always physical. But wisdom, experience, and intelligence also provide the ability to survive. And this lesson remains unforgettable for the clan or other predators of the jungle. The wheel of time stops for no one, and in the jungle, every king meets an end. The old tiger, who kept the lineage alive, hunted and established its territory, is now in the final stage of life. Typically, a tiger lives 15 to 18 years in the wild. In captivity, this can extend to 22 to 25 years. Now the body is slow, strength has weakened. But experience and wisdom are still alive. In this final phase of life, dangers surround him. Hunger, disease, fights, and hunting by humans. But now this tiger is not just for itself. It is an example for its lineage, a lesson. That survival in the jungle is not only through physical strength, but also through wisdom, experience, and intelligence. And then, one quiet night, with a final breath, this king of the jungle ends his story, but his legacy lives on. In his cubs, in his territory, and in every shadow of the jungle. This teaches that every predator, no matter how powerful, is humbled by time. But the lesson it imparts remains forever alive. This is the end of a king, but it also makes way for the beginning of a new life. Because in the jungle, life never stops. And the cycle of predators continues. This is the reality of the jungle. a story of power, wisdom, survival, and legacy, which only the life of a tiger can tell.